Greetings. We are Hod, and we are going to talk about how you can use technology to keep your environment clean. So, before we start with our monologue, how are you all today?
It's an honor to be here with you.
It is an honor for us too to be able to interact with all of you in this way. So, we will get along with our monologue. A lot of you have been worried about the environmental crisis that's going on your earth. There is global warming, there is pollution of all sorts, there are toxins in your food, in your water, and we understand that it can be very disturbing. Some of you have also expressed your concerns about energetic pollutions from the devices that you use. So we are going to talk about all of that and what role you can play in creating a cleaner environment. So remember, when you are talking about the environment, you are in your own reality bubble. You are co-creating realities with the other souls in your own reality bubbles. So you have complete control over the kind of reality you are in. Remember, when you are shifting your own belief systems and you are keeping yourself, your body, your thoughts, your soul clean, you are automatically going to shift to a parallel version of Earth, a different reality where the environment and everything else is also clean. So, the first question to ask yourself would be, why am I creating a reality which is so polluted? This is not to make you feel bad about yourself, because most of you are still operating from the understanding that everything is happening to you instead of you creating your reality. So you might say, oh, I don't have any say over the government or those companies who are polluting the environment. Why are you on that version of Earth where the companies and the government are doing nothing to prevent the pollution? There are many other versions of Earth where the government and the companies are taking steps to keep the environment clean. So why aren't you on that version? That is a question that will help you start doing everything that you can to move to that version of Earth. So we are going to start with your immediate environment, because when you keep your body clean, when you keep your aura clean, your energy bodies clean, you are already creating a vibration, setting an intention that I want a cleaner place to be in by taking those actions for yourself. Look at the behaviors, look at the beliefs, and look at the thoughts that you have or that you create. Become more aware of these things. The path to enlightenment or spiritual awakening is to become more aware of your own thoughts, your own beliefs, your own emotions around various topics. So if you're not happy with what is going on in this version of Earth, ask yourself what exactly about it you don't like, because whatever answer that comes up is going to lead back, once you start digging into it, as to what belief systems you have, which has influenced you to create this reality. So you can take this outside in approach where you're asking the question, how did I end up creating this reality? What kind of judgments I have towards what is going on? So if there is a global warming going on, what kind of judgments do I have about it? What thoughts or feelings I have towards it? Say, for example, you feel, oh, this is going to be the doom of humanity. So that specific thought can lead you to your own beliefs when you keep asking the question, how is that a problem? There are many ways to dig into your beliefs. We are simply mentioning the one we have heard this channel do often. And you keep asking the same question to whatever answer it gives you or you get from yourself until you have reached to a state where you're not getting new answers anymore. You're getting same repeated answers. Then that sentence is the belief that has created that reality. And once you release that belief, you are going to shift to a different reality, a preferred reality. So, in this way, you can figure out how you are influencing the reality that you're creating, where you are on a polluted earth. What else can you do? There are so many things. You can keep your body clean and your immediate environment clean. When we say immediate environment, we mean the place you live, your room, your office, in whichever shape or form you believe cleanliness to be. Keeping it physically clean is as important as keeping it energetically clean. Now, physical cleanliness can be achieved with many technologies that you have on earth, like air cleaners, vacuum cleaners, or whatnot. There are so many ways you can keep your immediate environment clean, the things that you have in your control. Be mindful of what you are bringing in to your home from outside, be it the kind of people you're allowing in your home or the kind of things you're carrying from outside in your home. During the COVID times, a lot of you had developed the habit of spraying sanitizer on the objects you're carrying from outside. And that was a good practice, which many of you stopped doing. We would recommend continue doing that because when you are spraying sanitizer on any outside object, you're not only cleaning it of germs, but you are also energetically cleaning it because alcohol was originally meant to clean dirty, diseased energy. So if there are any negative energy in those objects, those also get clean when you spray alcohol on them. And then you let it inside your home. A lot of you in some countries have a habit of wearing your outside shoes also inside. Remember, you have walked in many things, over many things you don't even know, and you don't know what kind of germs they have, which is why in many Eastern countries, they have a tradition of leaving their shoes and slippers outside before they enter. They wash their feet and their hand before they enter home. And there is good reason to have that ritual because that way you are not letting any outside germs and also negative energy to enter your home. Keeping your home clean is fundamental to your well being because you are living in it. It has a psychological impact on you. Now, this is all about the physical cleansing. We are also going to talk about keeping things energetically clean because when you are psychologically at peace, when you see things clean around you, it gives your brain a psychological calmness which you may not be consciously aware of, which in turn creates better kind of thoughts, which in turn will influence your behaviors to bring this internal cleanliness on outside, because you will be setting example for others as to how can they adopt the same cleanliness for themselves. And this is how this is going to spread, and this is how you can create a cleaner world, because cleanliness begins at home. If you're not clean inside as well as at your home, you are going to practice the same thing outside. So developing good habits around cleanliness is of supreme importance. What you do with yourself and in your home as the same behavior you're going to repeat outside. So, coming to energetically cleansing, there are many energy healing schools that allow you to do that. There is sound cleansing using specific frequencies that you can play to clean up your aura. There is light cleansing, where you use certain lights to clean up your aura. And then there is energy healing, using which you can clean your aura. When we say cleaning your aura, it's as good as taking a physical bath, because your aura also is constantly being bombarded with all kinds of energies, and not all of them are aligned with your highest good. So, just like you take a physical bath to clean your body from dust and germs and pollutants, similarly, you can clean your energy body on a regular basis, because it's not just, let's just say, energies or psychic attacks that we are talking about. It also cleans the thoughts that you're creating. So let us explain a little bit about thoughts. You are thinking about 70,000 thoughts every day. And depending on what belief systems you have, not all of them are pleasant. And that is heavily influencing what you are manifesting. Also, your health, because these thoughts actually have an existence. They are subtle energies that linger around in your aura. So imagine having 70,000 of such thoughts lingering around in your aura. Nothing pollutes your environment than negative thoughts, and it's just not your thoughts. People who you are living with, their thoughts also are influencing your home and your environment, which is why it is often said on your planet, be mindful of the company you keep, even at home, your family members, because if there is too much fighting or dissonance or negativity at home, if you are feeling negative or some family members are feeling negative, those thoughts and that emotion along with the thought stays inside your home, and you don't even know that they silently influence you. So if you are repeatedly thinking the same thought, whether consciously or subconsciously, they become stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and they are the ones that is going to create your reality. They are the ones who's going to have the prime impact on what you create. So most ascended masters on your planet talk about having not only emotional mastery but also thought mastery. This is what the spirits also do when they die. When people die and become spirits, that's the first thing they learn, how to control their own thoughts, because if they are not, they are going to end up in unpleasant realities, because in spirit form, things manifest very fast, instantly. In physical reality, because most of you are not able to see the instant manifestation, you tend to slip into habits of having negative thoughts over and over again, which is why become very mindful of the thoughts you are thinking. That is also another step to not only self awareness and spiritual awakening, but also It will help you create a cleaner environment and a better manifestation. How do you know whether you're having a negative thought? It's the emotion that it evokes. Are you feeling good all the time, or are you not feeling good? It's just that simple. If you're not feeling good, pause and ask yourself, why am I not feeling good right now? Or what is the thought that is I'm having? And that will help you get in touch with your own thoughts. Like, what is making me feel bad at this moment? What was I thinking? And the thought will surface. So become mindful. Oh, this is the thought that made me feel bad. Hmm. Do I really need to hold on to it? How is it serving me? The more you become aware of the thought, the more you are in control of the thought. You can always say, I don't have to think it that way. There might be another way to look at this, a different perspective that is helpful and also pleasant for me. For those of you who are not used to this, initially take some time to be mindful of your thoughts. Eventually, it will become a habit. And then you are going to start creating positive thoughts because you are going to be in control of your thoughts. And once that happens, you are going to create more positive thoughts, which in turn is going to create positive thought forms in your home and influence other people living in your home. Similarly, other people's thought can also influence you. So it's important they also think positive, which is why we always suggest being mindful of your company. Now, there are other ways also to clean your home or office energetically speaking. Remember, everything is programmable because everything is made up of source consciousness. Now, living beings like you have willpower just as animals or plants do. So, beings who have willpower are less programmable because they have their own mind, whereas objects which has a different kind of consciousness do not have willpower. So, they are much more easily programmable. So, when you are lighting incense or sage sticks, you can program the smoke that comes out of it to cleanse the home of any negative thought forms or negative energies by silently saying it. So hold a burning incense or a burning sage in hand and instruct the smoke, please clean any negative thought forms or negative energies wherever you go in the home, or if it is trapped in any object, and take it around in every corner of your home so that the smoke reaches in every corner. This is the easiest way to disintegrate some of the negative thought forms that may have accumulated over time. But this alone will not help if you don't control your own thought forms, because thought forms have their own consciousness. When you're thinking the same thing over and over again, you're feeding your energy and making it stronger. So become very conscious of what you're thinking, because once the thought forms become stronger, they are going to make you think the same thing over and over again unconsciously, which is why take control of your thoughts. So when you are having cleaner thoughts, then you are going to manifest a different reality than what it is now. You are going to automatically shift to a parallel earth where the environment is also cleaner. Why? Because you are having those positive thought forms that is creating your reality the way you prefer. So you don't have to necessarily go out and tell others to change. You can do that if you wish. But the easiest way is to start with yourself and your home. That's the first thing we would recommend. So clean thoughts and positive emotions, a clean place to live, and harmonious relationships at home are crucial for your well being. This is something probably most of you know, but we wanted to delve a little bit inside into the mechanics of it so that you truly understand that these are just not sayings. There are things that actually happen when you don't take care of these things. So, this is where we are going to end today's monologue and take questions.
Thank you so much. That was very enlightening. So
Yes.
I'm gonna start then to call name by name. Let's start with light engineering. You have a question. Can you unmute yourself and ask the question, please?
Yes, thank you, Leticia. Hi, everyone, and thanks, Hod, for giving us those beautiful information. I do have a question. Um, in 1999, my country was bombed by NATO with depleted uranium, and ever since then, cancer rate among the population jumped over 60%. Is there any way how we can clean our body and earth ground itself from this kind of poisoning? Thank you.
Give us a moment. There are many ways that this can be undone. There are many extraterrestrials who are working behind the scenes on these bombed places to reduce the radiation. Now, while they are working behind the scenes, there are a couple of things that you, as well as the government, can do to prevent further radiation from spreading. One thing is to use certain technologies which are, you could say, an electromagnetic cleansing of that place. There are some devices that the government has access to, which they can run over the ground in the entire country, and simply using that device, emitting a certain electromagnetic frequency, will undo the damage or the negative vibration that is stuck in that place by introducing the newer vibration. So, this is something that a large scale government or an organization can do for your country. Whereas, as people, we would strongly recommend to move into areas where there is lesser radiation, because given what you have right now may not be enough to clear the vibration that has been created right now there. So move to places which is sustainable, which are not affected by those bombings if possible. If that is not possible, then what you can do is you yourself can create, at least in your home, specific vibrations that undo the radiation effect, because radiation is also a specific vibration. So, what you can do is you can do group meditations of 7 or more people together at the same time. When you are doing group meditations, towards the end, you can take all the positive feelings that you're feeling and project them out of your hands, as if, imagine white light coming out from your hands, project it to the country, imagine the map of the country or your home or wherever you know or feel there is these cancerous radiation still polluting the environment, and redirect those blessings, those meditative energies together to those places, and set an intention when you're doing that, that Let these blessings clear those places energetically from the cancerous or harmful radiation and those harmful vibrations. When you do it in a group, the power is increased by many times. The larger the group, the better it is. And if you can keep doing it every day, then the harmful effects of the radiation will be minimized to a great extent. This is what we can suggest as of now.
Thank you. So, can meditation be done organized through web camera and internet, or it has to be like physically 7 and more people?
You can do it online, but the effect is powerful when you are doing it physically together because all of your auras combine. When you are in the same place, the effect is 10,000 times stronger. If that is not possible, doing online also is going to be effective because eventually all of you together are going to project that vibration on that specific place. So that is also going to work.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, because that's something I have been very curious about. And it wasn't just poisoning, just the fact of bombing was very traumatic, which created very powerful
Yes,
thought forms as well. So it seems like it's a
yes,
post-traumatic disorder that keeps in a loop happening over and over again. So,
yes,
I was just hoping maybe I can do something, and thanks for giving a feedback.
yes. Your people can also take therapies to handle the traumatic imprints that has been left behind. The method that we said is going to energetically clear up the trauma, but people also need to get over their individual trauma because if a lot of people are group thinking the same thoughts over and over again, then that will create the egregore and that will make the trauma persist in that country, which is
Yeah,
why
which is happening there now.
which is why we are asking individuals to work on their trauma and work on themselves and their thoughts and their negative emotions so that they don't feed into that egregore and make it worse for themselves.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's go to the next question. Yogesh Patel, can you unmute yourself and ask your question, please? I'm not sure if he is there. Let's go to the next person. Serious Higher Mind. Lucas, can you unmute yourself and ask your question, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, you have described a little bit about the parallel realities that we can move towards to, and I also thought about it in a two-way street. So I was curious how we can, or what technologies have been used in parallel reality scenarios that are similar to our own that were very successful, and yeah, what we could implement. Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit more about what you mean by technologies? Could you share exactly what you are looking for?
I'm referring to like the path of least resistance, which can be probably also different things. It doesn't have to be narrowed down to one single technological idea. Or it can be like
No, we want you to narrow it down to something specific because that allows us to tune in to that energy.
oh, okay. Let's go there. Let's look at a more organic approach and tandem with nature and plants, like something akin to the energy of planting trees.
What about it? What do you want to know?
Well, there is a vibration or energy that I'm honing in where the people are living more in accordance with nature, because there have been different things also leaking into our reality. Like, for example, once it was described that we can do technology that extracts energy for us to use from trees, that we can implement into technology and keep it running. And yeah, and
What kind of energies are you talking about extracting? There could be many things.
like for example, electrical energy. It could be converted into electrical energy.
Why would you need electrical energy from trees when there are much more powerful sources to do so?
Well, it's not necessarily about the specific, it's more about the energy layout. How I would, for example, it could be an arbitrary example, but just about the energy of people harmonizing with their environment and finding a solution that is like accessible for everyone, because there are specific technologies that maybe are not accessible for everyone.
We still
sorry,
don't know
this is
what
getting
your question is. What is your question?
Well, I guess then we can jump to the next question then, if it's not clear enough. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so let's go to the next person. James, could you please unmute yourself and ask your question, please?
Hi, Letitia, and hi, Hod. Thank you very much for the talk today. It's been absolutely fascinating. I have a question about moon energy, which I've heard from many people is good for cleansing items such as crystals. What is the quality of this energy in particular, and how does it work to kind of cleanse, is the first part of the question.
The moon is not exactly used for cleansing the crystal. The moon has its own vibration that it imparts to the crystal. A better way to clean the crystal is putting it in earth, where it loses all its negative charge. There are many other ways to clean, but the quality of moonlight is more psychic in nature, getting more in touch with your emotions, psychic powers, and everything subconscious or unconscious. So when you put any crystal in the moonlight and it absorbs the moonlight, it acquires an ability to influence your unconscious mind, subconscious mind, your emotions, and your psychic skills.
So we could potentially use crystals then for maybe personal work. That might be more effective, right? If we programmed it correctly.
Specific crystals, when they are soaked in the moonlight, so as to speak, become even more potent depending on what kind of intentions you have, and they can be used in a myriad of different ways.
Okay, and just to reiterate, you said that if we put crystal in the ground, like in the earth, that would be a better way to cleanse them, yeah?
That's not the only way. You can also dip them completely in salt water and rub it to clean it. You can set the intention that all the dirty energy may disintegrate and come out in the salt water. You can also bury the stone under earth, under soil, and leave it overnight. With, again, you have to put the programming when you're holding the crystal in hand, that release all your dirty energy into earth and clean yourself, because the crystal has very limited consciousness, so you need to give very simple one-line instructions to it to be able to do what you want it to do. There are also other ways of cleaning it, which we are not going to go at this point.
Okay. The last part of my question was around different ways that things like moon or sun or cosmic energy, I guess in particular, could be collected more efficiently to be used in different ways. For example, this question is coming from the fact that I heard that a very, very long time ago in ancient Egypt or even Atlantean times, that there was special technology used to gather cosmic energy, which could be used for positive means to assist spiritual development. I was just
Yeah,
curious
of
about the
course.
method of collecting the energy.
We would highly encourage to use your own psychic skills to attract those kinds of spiritual energies instead of depending on crystals, because they are just permission slips. If you put too much belief that something outside of you can attract cosmic energies, then you are depending on something outside of yourself. We encourage you to depend on yourself to become the antennas of cosmic energies. If you believe that I can attract cosmic energies, then you will start becoming the antenna that you very much desire to be. And information will start pouring in over your crown chakra, and you'll start having insights rapidly, unexpectedly, and as a surprise, pleasant surprise. This is what this channel had experienced, and she doubted it often because information was just flowing in and she mistook it for her own thoughts or own imaginations. So become the antenna for cosmic energies and let it flow to you, because then you are going to tap into the here and now and get whatever information you need without having to depend on anything external.
Okay, that's really helpful. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, thank you, James. Now let's go to the next person. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name properly. Ifangwa, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, I can. And thank you so much. You said my name very well. And thank you so much, HOD, for sharing with us what you've already shared with us. I've got 5 questions, so I hope we have time. So question 1 is about my continent, where I was born and I live. So I live in Africa. When it comes to technology and even the knowledge that we learn in school and in universities, we seem to be behind. What do we as a mass continent of people need to focus on so that we can develop as people first and then start to develop technologies and innovations that can help our economies to grow? So that's question number 1.
What
Where could we
makes
start?
you think you're lagging behind?
It's because of the poverty that I see when I look around. People living in substandard houses, no access to water in the taps or electricity, things like that.
Your country is very rich in a lot of, let's just say, ingredients that is used in most of your modern technology. So you are really abundant and you don't have to depend on the outside world to create your own technology. You can build whatever you need in your continent. But first, you can focus on technology when you have achieved some kind of emotional peace within yourselves. The poverty that you were talking about doesn't allow people to focus on anything else. Most humans will be focused on simply earning enough to feed themselves when their focus is just that. it will be difficult to shift the focus to technology. So we would highly recommend that the first focus be on helping people find ways to sustain themselves in a way that is blissful for everyone. And once that happens, your technological progress will accelerate on its own. Then you wouldn't
Mhm.
need us to give you any guidance, because then, based on the challenges that you are facing, you will be able to focus, and your people will be able to focus on what they need to develop, because everything that you need to develop latest technology is already there in your country. We want you
Mhm.
to recognize that you are very rich in that sense.
Mhm. Mhm.
So look into your richness and
Mhm.
see how you can utilize that for your benefit.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And then question 2, again related to Africa and the people of Africa. Are there inbuilt skills or gifts that Africans aren't tapping into to develop faster? Maybe it's related to your answer already that you've given, but I was more talking if there's such a thing. I'm not sure. Just
It's your
more like
sense of community.
right.
It's your sense of community. You underestimate that. You have no idea how important that is to create huge momentum. Because when a group of people are thinking the same thought, then you can create great things. Because, like we said, the thoughts, the egregores gain enough power when the same thought is thought by many people over and over again. And that creates a collective reality that all of you can become part of. So foster your community with positivity. What things give your community joy? Explore those things more often. Do community activities that bring joy to all of you, because those state of being is going to create great thought forms that is going to propel you towards your own development.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And then question 3 is not about Africa, it's about the whole world. And it's regarding the COVID-19 pandemic and these vaccines that people took. Were they safe? Are they safe even currently? And number 2, what other
Which people
healings
are
or
you talking about?
I'm just now talking about the whole world. We recently had COVID-19, the pandemic, the virus that went all over the world, and then
Yes, we are aware of that. So,
yeah,
whose safety are you talking about
I'm
specifically?
talking.
Because you all are alive.
Yeah, we are alive. I'm talking about people who took the vaccines, like the Pfizer vaccines or whatever it was. Were they safe to ingest and to put into the body?
Yes, yes, because your bodies learn how to fight that, not only that virus, but many other toxins. So, some of the vaccines, which we are not going to name, were, so as to say, faulty, but it was still a blessing in disguise, because even though it was not, let's just say, good enough to create
Mhm.
the immunity towards that virus, it did create the immunity that the human body needed against the other toxins that are prevailing. So, in a
Mhm.
way, now your body knows how to fight off different kinds of toxin.
Mhm. Mhm. Thank you very much. I've got 2 more questions, and then question 4 is regarding energy and electricity. I can speak again for Africa, but I think across the world, energy and electricity are becoming problems, and we need affordable solutions of energy. What are the affordable solutions that we can look at that can solve this problem?
Your scientists like Nikola Tesla had already been blessed by us, and he had already discovered free energy. If you can emulate his methods, you can create free energy for all of you. Now, there is a lot of political motivations for which such things have been suppressed or not talked about or not explored much. But if you can get access to his work, you can tap into free energy and you don't need large corporations to give you that. In fact, that is the reason why large corporations are hiding such things. But it is really not hidden, it is there available in plain sight. We would
Mm-hmm.
urge you to look into it because Tesla was heavily influenced by our energies. We worked very closely with Tesla on this, on
Mm-hmm.
working and providing different forms of electricity.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. And then my last question is more on a personal note, and it's for me. I'm female. I was born as a female, and I wanted to ask you, this question of what does divine feminine mean, or what are the feminine qualities, that are really useful for the females, but also for the world, that are maybe
When
underrated.
you
Yeah.
when you say you were born as a female, we felt as if that was not a blessing in itself. So would you
It's a
explore that
blessing.
for us a bit?
It's a blessing. I feel like it's a blessing,
Is it?
definitely. I think so. I think I as a woman, right, which is what I am, I suppressed that part of myself and became quite masculine, I think. But what I'm asking is more, what makes one element, a feminine element, and then a masculine element, and what is the value of that, or how would you describe that feminine essence and capability?
What you know as the divine feminine is an embodiment of all the feminine qualities, what the archetype of femininity represents, all the feminine attributes like compassion, nourishment, nurturing, community, collaboration, empathy, heart centeredness, love, and opening up to the greater psychic energies because the feminine self is easily attuned to the invisible psychic energies. That does not mean that the masculine energies can't. In fact, all people have divine feminine and divine masculine in them, and they have developed certain extent of those modalities in themselves. Like you said, you had developed a little bit of the divine masculine in yourself because the divine masculine represents reproduction, creation, fast growth, and any kind of flourishing, creation, and development at a fast speed, foundation, building, structuring.
Mhm.
Those kinds are more masculine energy, and both the masculine and feminine are required to make the earth complete in every sense. So it's not like we are pitting one against the other because that
Mm,
absolutely doesn't make any sense. You
mm,
need both, and humans have both these elements. Even men have certain feminine qualities, especially those who are developing their psychic skills and feel inclined towards it. Those are the manifestation of the divine feminine in them, and they must learn how to embrace it fully to be able to awaken to those limitless possibilities. Similarly, if you are developing the divine masculine, then you are creating growth in physical reality. So embrace that and make use of that. You can gravitate towards any of these, develop both as per your wish.
Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Thank you.
Yes,
Hi, Hod. I just want to let you know that we are 1 hour into the session.
we
We
will
have,
take some more questions before we discuss the permission slip.
okay. So I'm going to ask for Yogesh Patel to unmute yourself and ask your question. I'm not sure if you're able to unmute yourself, or I can ask the question for you. Okay, I'm gonna ask his question he posted here in the chat. The question is, can sound be used as healing technology in coming
Yes,
years?
not coming years, you're already using sound and light and healing in your medical world. The equipments that you know as ultrasonography or the infrared equipments you use in your physiotherapies, those are using sound and light technologies. You are already using it in your equipments. So there is no years to come. You're already using it. And you can also explore other modalities of sound to create resonance, because remember, all of you are vibrating at a specific frequency. So sound has a easier effect in changing that frequency as compared to light, because sound is, let's just say, more potent because you can hear it and you cannot avoid it, unlike light. Even if you close your ears, you will still vibrate when somebody is playing some music or sound around you. So sound energy has a lot of influence on humans. So play around with different frequencies, different modalities of sound to create healing. There are already many such modalities that exist.
Okay, I have some questions from the Facebook group that I want to ask. I just want to open here to see if anyone else here in present has any other question, or I'm going to go forward and ask some of these questions. Oh, okay. I see one question here. All right. So Healy machine from Germany has been used for curing diseases. So what is the maximum level of frequency vibration can be generated by Healy? And does Healy work on removing chronic pathology like cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, etc.?
The machine that you're talking about can create frequencies to cure certain diseases, but it may not be configured to do so at this point of time. So we would urge you to check whether they have configured so certain frequencies. It doesn't matter what amount of frequency it can emit. What matters is, can it transmute or transform the frequencies of the illnesses that you have in your body, because all illnesses resonate with a certain frequency, and the device can create the opposite frequency to negate the frequency created by the illness. So you can check up the device manufacturers whether they have programmed the device to do so. But yes, that is possible.
Great. I
Leticia,
have, yes,
this is
yes.
Yogesh. Sorry, I was driving two-wheeler, so was not able to answer. The
Okay.
question, hello HOD. The question regarding sound healing was mine. Uh, I am using copper utensils to generate different frequencies. So, are there any differences between copper and aluminum? If I'm using, so which one is better? I want to ask. Like,
Are you using them for healing?
yes, to generate particular frequencies to cure particular illnesses. Like for liver, we have particular frequencies, and for heart, different frequencies. For kidney, different frequencies. So what we do is
So
we
when you
tune
are,
those.
so we understand when you are using those instruments to heal illnesses which are in the organs that are located in the lower part of the body around the basic chakra or the sacral chakra, basically any organ below your stomach, then we would recommend using copper because copper has the energy to influence more heavier energies below the body. Whereas when it comes to healing any organ or the body above the stomach and above, you can use aluminium instruments to do the healing because aluminium has lighter frequency which are more resonant with the organs above the body. Does
Thank
that
you very
answer your
much.
question?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Are there any other things also apart from copper and aluminum which can be used?
You can use palladium if that is available and affordable. That has the best impact if it is made into very, very thin sheets, like 5 sheets, when you are using to roll it up into those long flutes and pinging them. But it may not be openly available. So, in terms of viability, that could be a problem. But that is the best when it comes to creating the healing frequencies.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, there are more questions here. I actually have a question regarding the electronics. So, you know, nowadays we all have a phone with us and, you know, earbuds and computer. I want to know, are those electronics contributing to the pollution? Are they interfering with our thoughts? Is there a way that we can minimize that? I know we can put it away, put it far, but I've heard about like some type of crystals or something that could reduce the interference. So yeah, that's my question.
The devices that you use are extensions of yourself. So if you believe that the extensions of yourself are harmful, they will harm you. If you believe that they are not going to harm you, then they are not going to harm you because you are creating your reality. So some of you are living in reality where the devices don't emit any kind of frequency despite being the same model and the same type of device many of other people are using. Whereas people who believe that it is harmful, then they are creating the harm in their reality. So the question to ask is, what belief systems do you have that is making you believe that it is harmful? That
Great.
is what needs to change.
Great, thank you. I really like the answer. So I have a question here from Tai Dao. Would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question, please? I'm not sure if she's able to unmute herself, but I can read her question here. So the time when the earth was covered with ice and the whole sky, at the time the creatures and animals were huge, is it giant due to ice blocking influence from space or because of genes? And now there are many farmers, they use coiled copper wire antenna, electricity, or many other tools to help their farm increase production. Are these related? If so, do you have any further instructions?
Can you repeat the first part of the question?
Yes, the time when the earth was covered with ice and the whole sky, at the time the creatures and animals were huge. Is it giant due to ice blocking influence from space or because of genes? I'm not sure I understand the question too, but
No,
seems like
we
there are
can
two
answer
separate.
that question.
Okay.
Yeah, they are separate questions. So
Yes, okay.
the answer is it was not because of the influences from the sky. Remember, the life on Earth did not happen on its own. They were created by beings from other civilizations. So it was not because of other influences. They were designed that way. They were, you could say, experiments on Earth to see whether such life is possible to be sustained on Earth. So their sizes were based on some specifications that the beings were experimenting with. And that has nothing to do with the copper coils used for farming. So we would like to understand, or maybe you can repeat the question about the copper coils used in farming.
Yes. So, and now there are many farmers, they use coiled copper wire antenna, electricity, or many other tools to help their farm increase production. Are these
Yeah.
related?
No, they are not related.
Do
They are
you
not
have any
related.
further, yeah, and then she continues, do you have any further instructions to increase production of agricultural products without using pesticides?
Yes, allow the soil to breathe. There are certain methods that are used to enrich the soil. The earth has cycles and the soil enriches itself when you allow the cycles to unfold by itself. These days, because of the urgency to create production, you are not letting the soil re-enrich itself, and the quality of food produced by soils which doesn't get time to so as to breathe are falling because of that. You need to allow nature to follow its cycle and not interfere with it. So if you truly want to have abundant production, you need to take breaks and allow the soil to regain its enrichment. So think of production in terms of the volume you produce at one shot instead of continuous agriculture.
Sure.
That's what we have to say.
Thank you. Now, seems that Pifongwa has a question regarding the subject. Can you unmute yourself, please, and ask your question?
Sure. My question is building on this copper, the use of copper. I wanted to ask if copper has energizing elements for the human body, and how can we use copper for that?
When you say energize the human body, what do you mean?
Literal giving, having energy to get up and go, to get up and work, or to heal.
No, 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 no. That's not how you can derive energy from copper, because humans derive energy from many sources. The biggest source of energy is the air that you breathe, which is why we are doing this session to talk about how important it is to keep your environment clean. Because the more stress energy you have in the air, there are vitality globules that float around in the air. If you stare at a blank space for long enough, you'll see little dots of light dashing around. Those are the vitality globules that you inhale and which is required by the body. So that is what keeps you running. So if you want to increase your energy, you need to increase the amount of air you are breathing. So when you do deep belly breathing, you are inhaling 4 liters of oxygen, which usually doesn't happen because all of you are inhaling in a shallow manner and inhaling only zero point 0.4 liters of oxygen. When you are doing deep breathing, you are inhaling more of those vitality globules that are used by your energy body to create more energy. So spend more time in the nature, barefoot, in clean soil, because the ground also contains those vitality globules that your feet absorbs using its skin. So the trees have vitality that you can absorb. The sun has vitality that you can absorb. So this is not a conscious process. This the body does unconsciously. So expose yourself to all these vitality inducing things like the sun, the soil, the trees, and do deep breathing as often as possible. That should become the norm, doing deep breathing. That is how children breathe. That will allow you to have sufficient energy to continue throughout the day. In fact, some of the breatharians who do not live on food only live on these vitality globules. That is the amount of power you can derive from it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We are at 1 hour and 18 minutes. Just want to know if we can keep going with the questions.
We will take one more question, and then we are going to move on.
Okay. And I don't think we have any here in the chat. I'm just making sure. So I'm going to ask one from the list. I have the Lemurian plug. It has electronic components. Does it absorb pyramid prana energy or have other side effects if used inside the copper pyramid for meditation?
Do not use that plug inside the pyramid.
Okay.
Just don't. It is going to create interference with the electromagnetic field created inside the pyramid.
Okay.
Use it only in your bedroom. That is the safest place to use the plug.
Good. And to continue the same question, he asks, is there an effective way to use it with the copper pyramid for meditation? I guess you already answered that.
Yes. Do not use it with the pyramid. That's what we are going to say.
Okay. Now I have just curious, what does the copper pyramid is good for? Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
The asker is using a specific structure made of copper to ground certain energies. So when he's meditating, he's more grounded when he's meditating inside the pyramid. For those who have difficulty grounding or feel disoriented after meditation because of excess divine energy flowing in, this can be very useful. It's not required by everyone, but that's its primary function.
Okay. Are we all done with the questions or?
Have we completed 20 questions?
No.
Then we will like to complete that.
Okay. Sounds good. I have a question from Vincent Staggard. He asks, how effective is the Spooky 2 device? And Is it the future of medicine?
The Spooky 2 device is very similar with that of what you called as Healy in creating frequencies for particular illnesses. So, if it can create specific frequencies for individual illnesses, then it could be very beneficial for humans, provided that the device is used externally and not internally, and the frequency is emitted from at least 1 feet distance and not too close. We would like to know about more about this device before we can comment further.
Okay, I am not sure as well so much about this device. Maybe we can go back to this question in a future transmission. I have one last question here from Tai Dao. Would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question? Okay, I am going to ask the question. Says between base 10 and base 12 math, which base is suitable for technology development, energy development? I find it attractive to base 12 math because there are many ancient habits and cultures of my ethnic group. I speak of base 12. I am ethnic Khmer, a descendant of Angkor Wat.
It depends on what kind of technology you're going to use to develop it. In some cases, base 10 also might be very useful, but in some cases, base 12 also might be more potent. It is depending more on the context. So if you could tell us the device and the purpose of the device, we can comment which one would be more efficient.
All right. I don't think there's any explanation here about the device, but he's asking, just to follow up, can you tell me how Angkor Wat was built? By what civilization?
It was heavily influenced by the Lemurians, and it used the Fibonacci series and a lot of sound technology, which is why when you enter the temple, you are going to experience very specific vibration. It was designed to create certain experiences for people who are entering it. That's all we can say for now.
Okay, and I will finish with this question, and then we can move on. What radix math should we use so that everything matches the most naturally or most correctly, most efficiently?
We would need more information.
Okay. Yes, I am not. Can't unmute. He's saying, okay, let me just see if I can unmute him. Just 1 second. 1 second. Huh, interesting. I'm not sure why I am not able to.
Okay.
Are you able to unmute yourself now?
Can I ask now?
Yes.
Okay. The question is, can you share, if possible, any energetic breathing practice, if possible?
For what purpose?
to increase more energy, as you said, like more taking more energy globules will increase the energy. So is there any
7171 breathing. 7171 meaning you can put your fingers on your pulse and notice the beat of the pulse, how often you feel the beat, and you can synchronize your breath with the pulse. So each for each pulse you count one. So for 7 beats you can inhale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And while you're counting, you inhale, then pause for 1 beat, meaning hold your breath, and then again count 7 pulses and exhale till 7. And again, hold your breath or pause. Don't breathe in or breathe out for count of 1 breath. So this completes one cycle. It's called 7171, meaning 7 pulse beat inhale, 1 hold, 7 exhale, 1 hold, and repeat the cycle. So you can do this as many times as you want. The more you do it, the more energy you're going to have, especially when you are going to talk a lot, just like this channel did 30 cycles of 7171 breathing before this session. This creates a lot of energy in your aura and also for your energy body, your chakras to function in the most optimized way.
Thank you very much.
So
Okay,
right
we
now
have
we are going
reached.
to
Mhm.
we are going to move on with our permission slip now. So today's permission slip is how energetically you can clean yourself. So this is a simple light healing meditation where you are cleaning your energy body using your intention. This is very simple. You can do it every day. It takes very little time and has positive effects. So take deep breaths, like we explained the 7171 breathing. Do 5 cycles of this breathing while the channel also does the breathing. So do 5 cycles of 7171 breathing now. Now that you have inhaled a lot of vitality globules in your system, connect your tongue tip towards your palate. Some of you might have a small protrusion on top of your buccal cavity. Connect it curl your tongue and connect it. Simply touch it. Touch your tongue to the palate because that completes the circuit of your body while you are doing the meditation. Keep the tongue touched throughout the meditation for best effects. Make sure you're not disturbed by any noise from your devices or anywhere else when you do this simple meditation. Take deep breaths. Continue doing the 7-1-7-1 breathing and silently say in your mind, I command my aura to disintegrate any negative thought forms in my aura. I command my aura to disintegrate any negative thought forms or negative energies in my aura. I command my aura to disintegrate any negative thought forms or negative energies in my aura. I command my aura to disintegrate any negative thought forms or negative energies in my aura. I command my aura to disintegrate any negative thought forms or negative energies in my aura. Imagine black smoke coming out of your body from different parts of your body and disintegrating instantly. Continue doing this imagination exercise while you silently chant. Command your aura to clean and disintegrate any negative thought forms or negative energy that may have been trapped in your aura, while continuing to breathe in the 7-1-7-1 cycle. Let's do it for 2 minutes. That is enough. End it with a thank you prayer, thanking your spirit guides who have silently assisted you in this process and affirming, so be it, so be it, so be it. Thank you, my guides. Thank you for cleaning my aura. Now notice how you feel, what kinds of thoughts you are having now. Is it the same as you were having before? What emotions are you feeling now? Pay attention because this will increase your faith in this exercise. You can do this every day before you start your day and at night before you go to sleep so that you can sleep peacefully. Some of you who are troubled by a lot of unpleasant thoughts and need music to calm down, It is a very potent exercise for such people because it will help your insomnia and your sleeplessness and restlessness at night. So do this exercise before you go to sleep. Also, it would be very beneficial for your body. It's like taking an energetic bath before going to sleep. So with this, we would like to end today's session. It has been great pleasure to connect with all of you in this way. Thank you and good day.
Good day. Thank you.